What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with Money Vesting. So markets here very flat, not really moving all that much, and the audio should be now a lot better since I've reconnected my microphone. And again, I'm back at my home office in India. So hope you guys are doing well. As always, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're just joining us for the first time. We're this close to 74,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate you guys hitting that subscribe button if you're just joining us for the first time. Link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining us, and of course getting access to all the trade ideas, trade alerts. There's a couple different positions that I'm very excited to actually start buying here very soon. Of course, the first one's end phase. You already guys know that. A lot of you guys know that I've been buying and dollar cost averaging into end phase. There's another stock and maybe one more idea that I haven't really shared with anyone yet. So that's going to be in the Discord and our money investing community. I'll go over that as well in the future. So again, link's going to be down below. We'd love to have you on board. And there is that 16% annual discount available till the end of this month. So feel free to take advantage of that as well. So markets today, the Dow Jones up over 172 points. We got the S&P pretty much flat, up over 24 basis points, and the NASDAQ about as flat as it can get, up over 3 basis points here. We did have a little bit over 3,700 stocks pushing higher, so a lot more advancers compared to decliners, and a lot of that momentum and that volume came from Dow Jones companies. That's one of the reasons why the Dow was up a little bit over 0.5% versus the NASDAQ not really moving anywhere. And this right here, of course, is the earnings calendar. I still have to go over ASML. They reported their numbers. Goldman Sachs reported before the bell. So we'll talk a little bit about those companies. We'll break down their earnings as well. Of course, we had Tesla report after hours. It was down a little bit close to 4%. Netflix also reported some numbers. So I will be doing separate, more dedicated videos on these companies. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got American Airlines reporting. Them combined with British Airways definitely put me through the ringer with my 42-hour flight that was supposed to take only 18 to 20 hours with lost baggages, missed connections, and rebookings and a 9-hour layover. So it's just been absolutely crazy over the last couple of days just flying from the US over to India. But nonetheless, I was super grateful and blessed to be able to explore and enjoy London for about a day. So no complaints there. But American Airlines is also reporting tomorrow before the markets open. TSMC is going to be tomorrow as well. And again, Johnson & Johnson, we're only getting started. This is literally the beginning of the earnings season. And of course, there's going to be a lot of other big tech companies. I mean, next week's going to be packed with not only the Fed, but also earnings from some of the biggest companies in the world. This right here is going to be that economic calendar. So tomorrow we've got the jobless claims, we've got existing home sales. We did have retail sales earlier in the week, which came in a little bit softer than what the expectations were. And mortgage applications, the purchase index was lower. I think refinancing was very high on a week-over-week basis. We covered that during our live stream as well. So Nasdaq 100 futures slipped Wednesday evening after Netflix posted results. And again, this right here is on the day with Google, Nvidia, Oracle, Microsoft, Fortinet, Tesla, all of them pulling back here on the day with energy, real estate, healthcare, defensive, utilities were the ones that were doing really well and pushing higher. And some of the other stocks here just really flat or slightly down on the day. ASML looks like was down a little bit over 5.45% as well. And Lam Research was down over 2%. But overall, very mixed day with the tech here pulling back, selling off, other parts of the market pushing higher. And as a result, the Dow was green. And the S&P and the NASDAQ. S&P was slightly higher. NASDAQ was very flat. This right here was over the last 1 month. And again, you can see a lot of the momentums come from Amazon and Meta and Tesla and Apple and Microsoft and Nvidia. The usual, right? The Magnificent Seven, of course, and other sectors and stocks are still trying to keep up. And of course, trying to participate in this market rally. So this right here, over the last 1 day, almost all sectors green except for technology, materials, and comm services. So again, your big tech was the one that was really pulling back. Over the last 1 week, again, it's energy and utilities kind of underperforming, lagging behind. And over the last 1 month, it's only utilities that's really struggling. Everything else is super green. Wheat prices, soybean, corn, canola, cotton, oats, orange juice, everything pushing higher with lumber prices pulling back. Bitcoin's back under 30,000 and Ether a little bit under 1,900 as well. The market's expectation right now is for a 25 basis points hike in July. That's about a 98% done deal on July 26th. That's going to be next week. And the market's then pricing in for rates to stay there for longer, for the Federal Reserve to, quote, pause and then start cutting rates all the way down to 3.75 to 4% by the end of 2024. So that's really what the expectations are from the market right now. And like I said in one of my previous videos and live streams as well, we are very close to the end of this hiking cycle. So another 25 basis points isn't going to make or break the economy or inflation or interest rates. It's only just like that last sort of finishing touches, icing on the cake. That's what the Federal Reserve is really doing right now. And after this potentially we will continue to see inflation come down, as we have seen a lot of disinflation, a lot of deflation in many of the baskets within the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index. In fact, if it weren't for shelter, if shelter participated in this disinflation consistently, we would have had 70% of the CPI basket in deflation, which again is just as big of a problem as hyperinflation or stagflation, right? So a lot of people believe that, hey, inflation, if it's low enough, if prices are going down year over year, that's a great thing. It's not. Trust me, it is not. Things can get even worse, because if prices keep going down, people continue to anticipate they will keep going down, right? So that's how inflation expectations kind of play through actual inflation. And then guess what happens? People don't spend, companies don't make earnings or revenue, they start laying people off, recession starts because of higher unemployment. So that's exactly why the Federal Reserve wants to keep inflation at 2% and not at 8% or 0% or negative 2%. That's why it's a slight inflation every single year of 2%. But again, a lot of the metrics, a lot of the indicators suggest that we are very close to that number here. And Tesla shares obviously dip after hours as earnings call disappoints. Again, a more detailed and more specific video on Tesla coming out very soon here. I'll take a look at Tesla. I'll take a look at Netflix. I'll take a look at ASML. There's a lot for us to unpack from a individual stock earnings standpoint. So going over to the market now, crude oil starting to see a little bit of that momentum back higher, trading back over $75 a barrel. This right here, very strong and important support for crude at the moment, and resistance is going to be all the way up to $80-$81 per share. So that's really where the range is. And again, crude oil has done its part of slowing down inflation. It's been selling off pretty substantially over the last several months. It's down over, I think, 40-50% from its recent highs of well over $129, still down over 40%. So we'll continue to monitor. And of course, crude oil and oil in general very much is a leading indicator of where overall inflation goes, because everything that we do requires oil to some extent, either directly, indirectly, in the products and services that we create, that we use. Everything requires crude oil, right? Everything requires transportation. Everything requires oil to some extent. So right now we're seeing a little bit of that momentum. Since June, we have seen crude oil push up 14-15%. Gas prices, I mean, again, I was in the US, didn't really feel like gas prices were super high. They were quite reasonable. They have come down substantially from about a year ago, but support level is going to stay put at $73-$74 per barrel for crude, with a resistance at 80-81. Going over to cryptos, so Ether here, once again, unfortunately, dropping back down. It got up to as much as $2,000, and it's now starting to see some momentum back lower. So again, we're back below that $1,900 to $2,000 threshold, and next support, unfortunately, is going to be all the way down to $1,738. That's going to be in line with that 200 simple moving average as well for Ether. Bitcoin's back under 30,000. And again, you'll notice that we are just simply consolidating sideways. So this right here has been the range within which Bitcoin's been trading at for such a long time. So we are literally just zigzagging in the middle of that range, consolidating between 29,000 and 31,000. And that's really been the consolidation, the sideways pattern for crude, for Bitcoin, at the moment. Now going over to volatility, and VIX was up a little bit over 3.3%, so a little bit of that momentum coming back in. Support level is going to stay put at 1120. And of course, we've got the resistance to recently be at 14 all the way up to as much as 16 levels for volatility. We haven't really seen a lot of momentum in the VIX, even though the markets have continued to either trade sideways or drift higher. We've seen the VIX kind of settle in that 13 to 14 levels, right? So it hasn't really moved since the beginning of June. In the last month and a half, it has just been trading sideways in that 13 to 14 levels at the moment. Now going over to S&P 500, and we continue to see momentum, right? So 24 basis points higher on the day, 45.65. Next resistance and target is going to be 4,600. So this right here is going to be that level to watch next as a resistance for S&P 500. And of course, support level is going to stay put at 4450. That's going to be that 21 exponential moving average. So very, very nice consistent support in that uptrend for S&P 500 at the moment. Like I said, resistance at 4,600 to also watch for S&P 500, so 4623. Talking about the NASDAQ, and again, consistent uptrend here, continues to make these higher highs and higher lows. You can see that we are just consistently validating those moving averages, pushing higher. Again, I asked you guys in a poll when you expect the markets to hit all-time highs, and 65% of you mentioned 2023 is going to be the year when the markets get to all-time highs, and we're very close, right? S&P is only like less than 6-7% away. Nasdaq's only less than 12-13% away, so we are very close to hitting new all-time highs. It just needs a little bit more momentum and more participation. As we have talked about, it needs to be a more broad-based rally as opposed to a concentrated rally, because if it's concentrated, I mean, a lot of individual stocks will have to carry the entire team. That is to say that they have to push higher a lot in order for the entire market to move and, of course, get to all-time highs. So it has to be broad-based. It has to be more participation, and teamwork makes the dream work. And that's really what it's going to come down to if and when we actually get to all-time highs. So NASDAQ 14,600, that's right there, is going to be that level to watch as a resistance. Support at that 21 EMA, sitting roughly at 13,800 for the NASDAQ as well. Starting with Apple, and Apple here hitting a new all-time high at 198 and then starting to pull right back down, up over 71 basis points, getting a bit of a breakout from this level. Volume was pretty good, so it was 80 million shares versus 52 million. That's the average. So lots of volume, and I will be doing a video on the rebalancing of the NASDAQ as well. So I think that's a really important topic, and we'll take a look at how that affects the entire market, how that affects individual stocks. So I'll do a separate video going over the NASDAQ rebalancing that will help you get a better understanding of what to look forward to, because I think that's going to happen in Monday or next week on Monday, and obviously it's going to create some volatility in the markets as well. So a separate video on the NASDAQ rebalancing will be shared. But going over to Amazon, and Amazon also on the day up over 1.9, almost 2%, breaking out above 135. And the next resistance and target is going to be 146. So this right here is going to be that next level to watch for Amazon. Support level is going to stay put at 131 for this company. So very, very nice move to the upside, consistently making its way higher, slowly and steadily grinding up. Almost 60% year-to-date gains for Amazon as well. Talking about Tesla, and again, Tesla, I will be doing a separate video on this, down a little bit over 4%, close to 4% after hours. So this right here was the drop of over 4.14, coming down to 275. Margins, once again, were under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. So we are right now trading at this level right here. That's the next support that we talked about for Tesla stock. And of course, the 21 EMA sits roughly at 269 for Tesla as well. So that's going to be the level to watch and pay attention to right now. If you do get a breakdown below that 21 EMA, if you do get a breakdown below that support, then unfortunately I wouldn't be surprised to see some more potential downside and maybe come down to 240s and 250s for Tesla as well. Because I think the last time we saw that earnings breakdown here, we did sell off a little bit more. We sold off another 8.5% before Tesla started to kind of bottom out and then recover and of course rally a little bit over 80-90% once again. So tomorrow it's going to be quite interesting. Again, a separate video will be done on Tesla later today where we'll break down the earnings and the price action and the technical levels to watch moving forward. Talking about Nvidia here. And Nvidia starting to just again trade sideways once again. It feels like it kind of rallies 20%, then trades sideways for the next couple of days, rallies 20%, then trades sideways for the next couple of days. It's kind of like that's the that's the Nvidia train that it's been going on, right? So it's been so powerful, so much momentum, so much sentiment. Overall, it's been very strong. And again, this was the breakout from that symmetrical triangle, 14-15% rally, and now it's once again trading sideways. Support level is going to stay put at 439, down to 407, down to as low as $375 for Nvidia. AMD with a massive red candle. Like, what is going on? So we did see AMD at one point up 3 to 4% on the day, trading as much as 121, and then intraday sold right back down close to 5%. And down 1.27% on the day. So very, very significant amount of selling pressure intraday. Red candle, lots of sellers stepping in and buyers receding. And of course, if you do break down below this 21 EMA, again, a very strong support is going to be in the $106, $107 level. So this right here is going to be that support level to watch. You guys know where my fair value is. It's at closer to about $80. Next up, we've got PayPal, and PayPal on the day also down about 20 basis points. It is for the first time in a very long time. It's trying to recover past its 200 simple moving average again. This right here is the lower highs, which is also very important resistance for PayPal. So we'll continue to monitor that. And of course, support level is going to stay put at $70, $71 per share as well. So this right here is going to be that support resistance at that 200 SMA, 74, 75 bucks. Square, on the other hand, also seeing a very similar price action. It is overbought. This could actually end up being a good short opportunity. I will be going over a very specific trade plan and a trade idea for all of our members in Discord, going over what's the resistance, what's the support, where to take profit, specific levels to watch, and how you can set up a potential short on this potential idea, because again, it's very overbought. It's showing signs of weakness here, and we're approaching resistance as well. So again, all those details will be shared in Discord. if you want to join and again get access to all the trade ideas, link's going to be down below. Talking a little bit about Meta platforms now, and Meta continues to push higher, 316 up over 1.27%. So one of the outperformers on the day, along with Amazon. So as you guys know, Tesla, Meta, and Amazon are three of my biggest positions. Tesla, Amazon performed really well. Tesla not so much because of the earnings, but Meta here support level is going to stay put at $300. So this right here is going to be that level to watch. And of course, we've got a very nice momentum, very consistent, steady uptrend. Every dip's been bought up from that 21 EMA. It's been respecting that level very, very nicely. Talking a little bit about Netflix now, and Netflix on the day was higher, a little bit over 0.5%. After hours dropping over 8% on earnings beat and revenue miss, a little bit under $8.2 billion in revenue. But again, a more specific, more detailed video on Netflix will be done. And again, valuation has always been a concern with this company, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So support level next is going to stay down to sub 400. $399 to close to $400 is going to be that level. But after hours, looks like, it's not looking super great because NASDAQ futures are down over 60 basis points on the back of Tesla and Netflix. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about Google. And Google here also did drop a little bit over 1%, coming back down to that support. So all resistance potentially starting to act as a new support here at close to 122. Of course, if you do see a breakdown below this and below the 21 EMA, next support is going to be down to 116 for Google as well. So this right here will be the next level to pay attention to. Of course, my fair value is going to be sub 100 in the 90s for Google. Microsoft, the Activision deal is coming, got an extension until October, I believe. And that, again, was one of the reasons why it rallied up to all-time highs, almost 4% gain to 366 for Microsoft. And the market cap now sitting at $2.67 trillion, getting very close to yet another $3 trillion company. So support level is going to stay put at 351. Expensive valuation, no doubt, and support level is going to be down to 322 for Microsoft as well. Finally, we got Shopify, and Shopify on the day just very, very flat, up a little bit over 1.4%. So just trading over $68. Resistance is going to stay put at 75, and support level is going to stay put at $65 per share as well. And finally, we got Enphase Energy, ENPH. It's part of our daily market updates, trading as much as 185. We've got a huge resistance at 188, so it's definitely struggling at that level. I can already see it. And of course, getting up to that level, all resistance, all support. And right now, we're just kind of battling through that level. If a lot of volume comes in and we kind of push past this level, then I could easily see Enphase kind of make its way up to 220, 229, close to that 200 SMA, 226 levels for Enphase moving forward. So that's going to be the levels to watch, and support level obviously in the 150s, and a good deal is going to be in the 120s to as low as $100. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful and a complete update on the markets. Make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're just joining us for the first time, link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. It's just so great to be back and doing these market updates and live streams. And again, I will be doubling down on a lot of content. A lot of videos will be coming out. A lot of private tutorials and videos will be posted for all the members. So I'm super excited to get this going again. As always, happy investing. Link's going to be down below if you're interested in joining us. See you guys in the next video.